Hey everyone.
Hey, hey, everyone. No, look, this is how it's
All
gonna
right,
go.
all
We're gonna
right.
just say, but we're gonna do an introduction later. See, we don't have to,
Yeah,
we don't have
yeah,
to
yeah, yeah.
waste
It's
time.
too
Let's
much of
just
a
be talking.
distraction. Yeah,
Right.
exactly. All right.
Bubbly
Yeah.
buzz.
Bubbly buzz. See, just to explain, like the bubbly buzz, like I have this desk here, and there's some dust like piling up on the side, and the dust looks like a caterpillar, like to me,
Ooh,
kind of that kind of like fluffy. Okay,
and it's
I think we should start again. I'm sorry. I just got distracted.
and now the cats are eating.
Yeah,
We're just in the moment right now.
don't really know which way you're going.
We know one thing though.
What do we know?
Wait, sorry, I heard something. I'm trying to. Sorry. I just
I'm
heard
like,
something. It's like, wait, it sounded like somebody just came in the door. Ain't nobody supposed to be at the door at nearly 2 o'clock in the morning. What the hell going on?
and I'm, and I'm
Sorry.
thinking, what is the one thing that we
Right.
know?
Okay. Nothing, by the way. That's the answer. We don't know
That's true.
nothing. All of what
Zero.
we know is nothing.
That's true. Zero.
Right. Zero. Ooh, powerful, man. I take that one. Zero. That's another number that's been following me because, we don't often think of it because it's like, they ain't never. That's
hmm
the foundation.
Yes, it is. Well, foundation. It's actually at the peak. Zero. I think zero is at the
It,
top of it all.
that's what I mean
Yeah.
by foundation. It is.
Yeah.
It is the ruler.
It
It's the.
is. It's
It's the
very
known.
true.
It's the unknown because that's what's everything.
Exactly. See, I've always felt that the alphabet is half, is in half. We only have half the alphabet, and I think that we actually are supposed to have the 52 letters, and of course the reason we have 26 is because that's half of 52. And
Hmm.
I think that wait, what were we saying before that? Oh, the zero thing. Okay, so what I found is that if you count up all the letters according to their vowels, like any letter that has the sound of I in it is just I and Y. Those are the only two that have that sound. If you did that with the sound of E, then there's like B, C, D, E, P, D, G, Z, all of those. So you
Hmm.
have,
Right.
and if you count them all up, like every letter up according to their vowels, what you find is that there's nine along the bottom, there's eight missing, seven missing, six missing, and then there's five, four, three, two, and one where they're all according to the sound of their vowels. So you can count them all down as a triangle
Wow.
based on the sound of their vowels. And the vowel that's at the very top is O. There's no other vowel in the entire alphabet that has the sound of O except for that one. Whereas every other one has at least two. So
That's pretty
so
amazing.
zero, that zero thing that I'm saying, that's at the top of the triangle. So there's all these things like that where it's like it's all laid out, but it's like, I don't know, do you care? No, most people don't. So
Most people don't. It's like, and it doesn't. It's not to say it doesn't have value, but think of the other things that's going on in their life that would matter more.
I just think that it's interesting that our whole world is kind of built on things that we, have one meaning for, and we don't realize the deeper thing that is going on beneath it. And especially when it's
Hmm.
disguised, it kind of makes me feel it's like when I see the trucks go by and they have these happy cows on them and they're smiling in the grass, and then you look inside the truck and they're all just like getting slaughtered and packed into a thing, and
Right.
it's like this terrible thing that's
Right. It's
going
a
on
terrible situation,
under
and
the
I hate that they do
guise.
that.
Yeah,
They often
the happy
use media
cow.
use right a
The
happy
one
cow.
cow in this whole field who has the sun. It's like, but in reality, they're inside. They're strapped with their noses to the
And
concrete.
that's the thing. Like, do you feel like people get off at being misled?
No, I just think that basically they wouldn't. Well, you know what? You think of those cigarette packets, they're covered with those people's lungs.
Hmm.
Like, and they're
Exactly.
like, this will give you cancer. Like,
They
and they
don't
go,
care.
so
You
they
tell that
don't
to someone
care.
who's smoking cigarettes,
Yeah,
people be like, "Shit, I don't even look at it." I
yeah,
ain't even. You can't. Here's another thing. This is why I don't agree with censorship
yeah,
because you should be able to know what you react to. No one
yeah,
forces you to do nothing.
yeah.
I don't care
Yeah,
what it. It's at the end of the day. Now, some people might not be aware of their
yeah.
ability to choose. A
Right,
lot of people don't know that they can choose. You do
right.
have that power. That's
Yeah,
the power you have. That's one of the best superpowers
it's
humans
true.
have because it gives you, authority to make your own reality. So the whole point is you don't have to, like, if you look at a cigarette, I mean, people who smoke cigarettes, I don't even debate with people who smoke. They like cigarettes. That's just what they like.
Right.
Now, yeah, it obviously does something bad, but they're not looking at
But
that. It doesn't
I
matter.
personally, I think it's rude that they put that on the packet myself.
Me exactly.
You know?
Me too. I think it's rude as well because it almost says, "Oh, listen," because think about the other stuff that's killing you. Like
Yeah, everything,
I don't know,
everything.
like the facial creams you use,
Right.
lotion, the
Hmm.
foods you eat, mainly.
Imagine if
Uh,
every Coca-Cola had to have this big sticker on it
yeah.
with what it's doing to your
Wouldn't Why don't Coca
insides.
do? Yeah. Thank you. Look at what it's doing to your insides. Thank you. Thank you.
Right.
They should do that.
Yeah,
Why don't
they
we
would
have that on
not do that.
Coca-Cola? They
Yeah.
would never do that. You know why? Because Coca-Cola promotes friendship and happiness and love.
But cigarettes, for some
But
reason,
cigarettes promote, that's ridiculous, man. That's
yeah,
how it was in the 70s and the 60s. That's why back then people just smoked everywhere. It didn't matter.
you
So they
gotta,
become so hard against it. It's a political reason why they're so against it. But
yeah,
the reason why is because they don't want people, they want to feel like they're protecting, but they're not doing
checks.
anything about heart disease.
Yeah.
There you go. They're not doing nothing about heart disease.
Yeah.
Nothing. They're like, oh, well, consult your doctor. These people don't have insurance. How they going to consult their
Yeah.
doctor?
You know
You know
what's
how much it
worse?
costs to consult your doctor?
Those people having to stare at those signs every time they're smoking, that's worse. Look, imagine if every time that you went to take a glass of water, you had to look at a sign that said, well, if you drink this water, you're gonna get the worst cancer, and this is what it's gonna look. This is what your brain is gonna look
Here's what
like.
it's going to look like if you keep.
And you
Man,
have to
I can't
stare
tell
at
you how
that
many
gore
commercials I've seen of
image.
that. I hate that. I hate
See,
that.
yeah,
It's
it's like, why are they
ridiculous. It's
punishing these
ridiculous.
people for choosing to smoke? If you're really against it, why do they exist? You've already
And why are they selling it?
right. If you're gonna be selling
This
it,
is
then
everything. This
put
is
a
why I say
little.
every.
You put a little warning on it, like underneath, like in small writing. The caution has been
That's what they
proven.
usually say. This, yeah, that's what they usually have done.
Yeah,
This causes cancer.
yeah,
This kills.
right.
But
And
here's the thing. Here's the
sometimes,
kicker. Here's it. Sometimes that was exactly what I was about to say. Sometimes it's not all the times because they make it seem as if there are people. I have one of my my aunts. She's one of my favorite aunts. She smokes daily. Okay,
yeah, yeah,
now she
yeah.
old. There are people who smoke
She's
till they
all
die.
smoke till
She's
they
really old.
die.
Like she's not. Seriously, they'll smoke
Yeah,
until their dying day, and it's not because of the cigarettes. It's
right, right.
because of
It's
they
like
just
because they're
die. Or
just
who?
dying. Yeah,
The
yeah,
point is, people die all the time. But here's what you don't. Oh, say you say, okay, I'm not gonna smoke cigarettes, but I'm gonna drink.
right.
There's nothing that said. The only thing they say is don't drink and drive. They don't ever tell you not to drink, but drinking kills more people than anything.
And it's killing your
Drinking
brain
and it's
cells, gives
it's
you
killing
brain
your brain
damage,
cells. It's killing
all
your
of
your
that stuff.
liver.
Right.
It's killing your cell. All of that shit is
Yep.
affected by drinking. And all this is the only thing they say for drinking. Don't drink and drive, or they might say drink responsibly.
Drink
But what the hell does that
responsibly.
mean?
Yeah.
Responsible to who? Yourself? The other person?
Right.
Like responsible. I mean, the whole idea is they don't tell you about that. That kills more people. People are dying because of alcohol poisoning. Because even if they
Millions.
decide to quit, they'll die because of quitting because their body is attached
Yep.
to it. And if they go cold turkey, they'll die from that.
Yeah, these are all these addictive drugs, and then you get something like weed.
This is also always contingent on the person. Some people could never smoke weed, okay? And they
Yeah.
shouldn't.
Right.
Just like some people could never do any other XYZ. So it's like
Right.
you got to know what your body said. This is why I'm saying I'm glad we did a song, by the way, everybody. Sensory Illumination. That's an album, but I'm mainly talking about the song in this point, which is that whole aspect of being sensory,
Mhm.
and
Yeah.
being connected to what's ultraviolet. Because if you know yourself and you know your surroundings, you're not going to do something that hurts yourself. Now,
That's
unless
true.
yourself, a lot of people though, they don't treat their bodies the best way they can because they might just be lazy or don't think about it. But the moment
Mhm.
you do that, it's going to improve everything because you're looking at you
Yeah.
first
Right.
before anybody.
Yeah.
So like if you're sensory and your body will tell you, I shouldn't eat that, or oh, I don't want to eat
Mhm.
that, or oh, maybe I shouldn't, listen, and whatever it is,
Right.
that's something you have. That's your
Yeah,
responsibility
you
because
figure that
nobody
out.
can tell you
Yeah.
how. Right?
Yeah.
You figure that out. Shit.
That should be what the signs say. It's like
Right.
you buy a
You
pack of
figure.
cigarettes, it says you figure it out.
Oh my God, dude. I am totally gonna Photoshop that on the
Yeah, you
photo
should.
on the cigarette packet. That is perfect, golden.
You
You
figure
figure
it
it
out.
out.
Should it be you figure it out or you'll figure it out? Probably just you figure it out.
You
You.
figure it out. Because who knows it? You may not. Right? That's false advertising. But
You'll figure it out. Some guy's like, I didn't figure it out. I
right.
want my
That's what
money
I'm
back.
saying. That's false advertising. But if you say you figure it out,
You
it's
figure it
like,
out.
hey,
You have
it's
to.
on you.
I don't think they were ever meant to be filled with all of this bullshit that they've filled up the cigarettes with. You know, like they didn't need to be
Yeah.
that to blow some smoke out your mouth.
Yeah, because the way the natives did it, it was just tobacco. They didn't use all that
You didn't need
nitrogen.
all
I
that.
mean, not
Yeah,
nitrogen, but nicotine.
all that
All of the
stuff.
other stuff,
Right.
right, that just
That's
made
where
it
it's fucked up.
addictive. That's the
Yeah.
fucked up shit.
But if you look at
That's the
like
fucked
the
up
Lord
shit.
of the Rings and you see
A
Gandalf
pipe. Yeah, you
outside,
see
yeah,
Gandalf smoking out of a
smoking
pipe.
these
Come
smoke
on,
rings,
man.
yeah,
That's a cool thing.
that is cool.
So yeah. So I was curious about it too. I've never actually smoked a cigarette though. I've smoked
Oh yeah,
cigarillos,
yeah,
but and weed of course, but I've never even. It's like I don't want to because I know what they put in it, and even
right,
if they didn't, I was like I'd rather not because it doesn't do anything. My whole thing is that people are going to do it. That's why we saying you figure it out because
right.
the
Yeah,
thing is,
you
if you're
figure it
looking at it
out.
for the first time, it'll be like, okay, let me see what this is.
Yeah, so
Now
you
you should
try it out,
also
maybe.
know if you see, but here's the thing, you also know if you've seen other people on this shit, you shouldn't probably do it. Like especially if you're your family, because your family, if your mom has been smoking cigarettes all her life, that means it's likely you addicted. Like that
Right,
runs in your
right,
family.
right. Yeah,
That's
yeah,
how it works.
yeah.
So
And
then
yeah,
you
you,
say,
you might
I
have seen the
probably
repercussions. You might have seen what it does to the
right.
children or whatever. I don't know,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
whatever it is, you would see something and be like, okay, I can weigh it up. But maybe you just do it in moderation. Whatever it is, all
yeah.
things in moderation, except including moderation. Yeah, like Oscar
Including
Wilde said.
moderation, like
Yeah,
that's correct. Yeah, that's the whole idea. So I mean, people have to not be so. But that's the thing. It's fear, man. It's fear. That's a
yeah,
currency. It's you
yeah.
get so much money out of making people afraid.
Mhm.
At least you think that they're afraid. They don't actually care.
Right.
But the people who actually might care about it, they still, who knows how they're gonna react to it.
I mean, I wonder if they sell more or less after putting all these warnings on there.
Well, it's definitely decreased. Less people
Yeah.
are smoking cigarettes.
Mhm.
And that is a good thing overall because again, it does cause cancer. But for people who want to just smoke, the thing is, you're gonna do it anyway.
Right.
Okay, you're gonna
Right.
do anything you want to do anyway, and you're gonna
Yeah.
find a reason to justify it. That's
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
how humans do. We
Yeah. Yeah.
pimp the shit out of everything.
Uh-huh.
We say, okay, I don't like that. I'm gonna make this instead of making this tomato soup. I'm gonna make ketchup out of it this time. You
Right.
think about the person who did that shit for the first time. Say, what is this? You're mashing up tomatoes, and then you're adding salt and sugar. That's gonna be gross. Now ketchup is the best thing ever,
Right. Right.
right?
Yeah.
But it took
Yeah.
risk.
Yeah.
So sometimes you got to be like, you know what? I'm gonna just do it and
Yeah.
see.
Imagine when somebody first put oats and some water into a pot and just like turned on the
Right,
element.
and just
Like
turned it
for
on.
like 20 minutes, nothing happens. Someone's like, "What are you
Right,
doing?" Like it's not gonna do anything. Like stirring it a bit, and it's just like this
right.
muck. And they're like,
I
"Why are
know. It's
you
like, what
standing
is
there? Like it's
that?
not gonna do anything." And then all of a sudden, it turns into this thing.
Like oatmeal,
Yeah, oatmeal, and you're
and
like,
then they add honey to it, and it's like, oh
right.
my god, this is good. We should start doing this.
Right. And I
You
mean,
have to,
we don't even know
yeah.
this is what always trips me out is we don't know the formulas because if we'd never done that before, you might be like, okay, that would never happen. You might have tried it for 10 minutes and it didn't do anything. So you think that would never
Hmm.
happen. But you could have this whole oatmeal without even knowing just by, trying it a little longer. So what if there's some substances like what, for example, if you cooked like almonds in a pot
Hmm.
with some water and some honey and you stirred it around and you have it exactly on 4 degrees and you have that going for 24 hours, then suddenly they turn into blue butterflies and fly away.
Yeah.
You don't know. Maybe they do.
You don't know. That's called alchemy.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
because there are people who actually combine things just to see what happens. You
Yeah.
literally don't know. We're all just shifting
There's a
energies, carrying
million
around so
codes to
much.
try out that haven't been
A
tried before.
million. Right. And you'll
And they could
never know until you just
turn
do it.
into brand new things that we don't even, that we've never even discovered yet. So it's
The
amazing.
mind is the original internet. The mind
Yeah,
is where the matrix, because the
I like
matrix,
that.
even if you look at the matrix, it's like the cosmos. It's literally you're in it, but you're out of it.
Right,
It's that,
exactly.
it's that dichotomy there. So you're never really on, it's people just. I just wish people stop selling fear, and I'm not going to say
Yeah.
start selling love instead, because love is one of those things you always gonna find if you look. It's
Right.
everywhere, really, because
Yeah,
love
you
is
don't have to
everything.
sell it. Yeah.
You don't have to sell it; it's everything.
Yes.
But if you really, what people need to just take control over is their reaction, and just their this anger culture of,
Hmm.
just like canceling out people. And I was just looking at myself recently about this, because I did that for a large part of the year last year, where I was just going off on this and Trump people, and it's like,
Hmm.
like, people are people. You gotta what you
Yeah.
really have to do is see where they're at. And
Yeah.
then I watched this sketch with Bill Burr. He was like, "Are you really surprised that a racist white dude said the N word?" That thing. If you were born in an area where they hated black people, and
Yeah.
you of course you're gonna say something that repeats the same thing, because that's
Right.
just how you
That's what
heard
you're
it.
being raised to
That's
hear.
not
Yeah.
that don't make you. It's
Right.
the same with any other scenario. So people have to be admitting to that.
Right.
They have
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
stop thinking people want to be nasty, because I don't
Right.
really think people want to be nasty
No, that's the
generally.
thing. People get upset. I especially see it with appropriation ideas at sometimes, where somebody is wearing something that it's debatable as to whether it's respectable or not. And if it's in that
Hmm.
debatable area, why are we just like often it's white people attacking other white people, like, hey, you
I
can't wear
know.
that other
I know.
culture. And it's like, what? You don't. It's not even
Right.
your
It's like,
culture.
right.
Like,
Why are you worried about
you
it?
trying to set me straight about what I'm doing? Like, what about what you're doing and what you're wearing and your
Yeah.
eyeliner? Where does that eyeliner come from?
Right.
Around? Where does that?
Exactly. There are people. Then, man, that's what I'm saying. That whole thing, I don't like that no more. I don't
No.
care.
Like
I don't
what George like
care.
George
This,
Clinton said.
right.
He was like, what happens when the space beings come down and there's you got three dicks, so you got these
Right.
people to deal with, and
Like,
there's gonna
what
be
would
a
you
whole
do?
lot more weird shit going on that.
Yeah, a whole lot more. If we think this is weird, we haven't seen nothing yet. We talking about, oh, I can't wait to contact aliens. What if the aliens don't like you because they just do whatever the hell they want to? And as soon as as soon as you say you offended, they cut your tongue out.
Right, yeah.
What you do then?
I
You
mean,
can't do
this is just
nothing.
it's a crazy thing, really. I mean,
It's crazy.
it's just it's restrictive for
I don't
everyone.
like any form of censorship, and
Hmm.
it didn't take me long to realize that, because when people were even, mad, they were like, "Oh yeah, it's good that they took Alex Jones off here." I'm like, that's
I
wrong.
hated that.
Why?
Yeah, that
It's
was
his
ridiculous.
opinion.
Yeah,
It's his opinion. Why can't
yeah,
he
you can't take
post it?
somebody down for shit like
You
that.
can't
You
take
can't.
somebody. I mean, and granted, he has his own network, but still,
So
he's
what?
on YouTube. It's a free network. What
Yeah,
is he saying that's offensive to
yeah.
the? Oh, you can. It's like, are you kidding me? Because someone didn't like the fact that he made a ref. It's his opinion. If you don't like it, just say it
Right.
was a bad. He didn't have to say it.
You know why
You
they
know.
did all that though? I mean, I could be wrong. I need my own channel for things like these conspiracies, but I kind of have the idea that perhaps by censoring him, it creates a great deal of interest. Like, oh, what did he say that they don't want to get out there?
Hmm.
But any smart person that was in the CIA or wherever, whatever you're talking about, that's controlling them or taking them down or whatever, would not. They're well aware that by trying to censor something, it makes more people interested to look at it, so they're not going to be that stupid.
Yes.
So
Hmm.
if they're doing that, it's for the sole purpose of drawing more attention to him and actually having more people see the content. So it's not they're not trying to censor him actually. They're trying to get more people uh to
Yeah.
look
To
at him
twist it
because
right. To
he
look
doesn't
at
know
him.
what the fuck he's talking about most of the time.
Right. Exactly. And he's admitted to that. Motherfucker always drunk and high. You just be saying
He
shit. And you need to take back your lawyers and fire the senator. He's just one of those people who just complain about everything, but he's saying some dope shit at the same time.
right.
Sometimes he'll say something that's like, oh, that's actually
But
true.
I'll give
But
I'll give
he's
him some props because he is actually a really entertaining person to watch, and I actually quite enjoy watching him
yeah, he's
sometimes. And
funny.
he's
Sometimes
actually
he's really funny.
he's also really I like his bravery. I mean, he's quite courageous, and I like that
He's
he's
confident.
outspoken.
He's
He's a rebel,
outspoken.
that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I like that part of his personality. I just don't think that his content is always accurate. That's all. It's just
His content isn't always accurate, and he knows that. The thing
yeah,
is, no one should be able to say we need to. I wish what would be the biggest upgrade in humanity is just this whole thing of not being offended.
right,
You know,
right,
not to say because those not that those offenses aren't validated, but you got to know that no one's responsible but you. You figure it
You
out.
figure
They
it
say
out.
something mess. So if something happens to you and you didn't like it because it came the wrong way, you need to think about what memory happened in your childhood when your grandma told you that one thing, and you need to say, "Sorry, grandma, I didn't mean that," so that you stop being distracted in the present.
Right. Yep.
Because it's not meant to be so serious. Why so serious? That's why I love jokes. Why so serious?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like
Right.
why are we so and that's because people they feel like they are, what's the word? Like they woke.
Right.
Like,
Right.
oh yeah, I'm the most moralistic, acceptable person because I accept everybody, trans, homosexuals, and gay people, Muslims, anybody, non-binary. You don't have a gender, all of it. I accept all of you guys. It's like, okay, you want a trophy for that shit? Who cares? Because they don't want nobody. Because you know how many emails they got. You know how many private accounts? Oh, let me make sure. Let me whoop, put on
Yep.
this dress on somebody. Whoop. We all do this shit, you know. But the
Yeah.
difference is, I'm not over here trying to hide the fact that my shit ain't together. I'm already know I'm figuring this shit out.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna
Yeah.
ever figure it out either, because like I said, like we both said,
You don't
man,
want to figure it out. That's what I'm
you don't
realizing.
want to figure it out. That's the flip side of the coin. You don't want to figure it out.
Generally, you don't really want to understand anything too much because if you do,
Right.
it comes back to
It can become
that zero point, right?
exactly. It
Here's the
becomes
thing.
that.
If you pull the layers off the onion, there's nothing left. So, you know,
Exactly.
so it's like you reach that end point is nothing. It comes from nothing, ends with nothing.
And it
So
ends with nothing.
you don't
Yeah.
really
Yeah.
want to you don't want to see that.
I'm nothing.
And knowing everything is knowing nothing, and knowing nothing is knowing everything.
Knowing everything. It always goes back to that.
Yeah.
That's a consistent truth. Because it's in and
Yeah.
out and
Right.
in. There's no other way to be.
So
You know
that comes to the
everything, you
moment.
know nothing.
It's the present, the
It's the
moment.
present. The present. That's the gift that never can be
Now
denied, because
is one.
now, and that now, I got that big O, that zero. I always say I'm dreaming of a world with more zeros.
What's oh, zeros? Oh yeah, zeros. I
Yeah,
thought you said
because that's future.
zeros. Yeah, true.
Zeros. Because it's one of those things where we have to know, we got to be comfortable with that, because not having the things, I even started thinking about that. That happened to me recently. I didn't have a computer for a while, and I was really hurt about that, but that allowed me to focus my energy in other
Hmm.
areas.
Yeah.
And now that I got the computer, it's like, oh, I don't even feel like writing. Not all the way. I'm writing a
Right.
lot actually,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
the whole thing is,
yeah.
I don't think we should always, like, if something happens, you just gotta deal with it at
Hmm.
that moment.
Yeah.
Like, you have to always be, all right, this is how I'm going to handle this moment. Now, I'm not going to freak. Like, you don't have to. Like, I'm learning the moments where I would have anxiety about certain issues. I don't even have to do that, because just handle it for what it is.
Right.
If you don't have it, ask.
Yeah.
Just ask.
Right.
Like, damn. Like, seriously. And then if you don't get it, then ask somebody else. I know I'm safe.
Yeah.
You never know.
It's funny people
Hmm.
because I know I don't even know what you were talking about asking for. Probably like a laptop or something. Is that what you were talking about?
Well, no. Well,
Oh,
I was mainly just saying,
or
like,
answers.
asking, like if you didn't have anything, like
Oh
you
yeah,
didn't
just
have the money
anything.
to do
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
right.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I figured that was the case, but somehow I missed that part. So yeah, I was also thinking though that you can't really ask people for answers so easily,
Hmm.
because they'll all tell you
Yeah.
something different. That's what I found. It's like, you
That's
go up to
true.
one person and you say, what should I do? Like my life is falling to pieces. I don't know
I
which way to
realized that
turn.
everybody will say something totally
Yeah,
different,
one
huh?
person's like, "Oh, you got to get out of that. You got to
Right.
leave. Go to the Bahamas,
Hmm.
just chill out." And then somebody else would be like, "Man, I just came back from the Bahamas and it was a terrible experience. Like, you don't want to go near that place. Like,
Right.
I'm telling you, just stay in your room. Like, it's the best thing you could do." And then someone else is like, "You got to just get a job, man. You got to go out and
And someone's like,
work.
"Man,
Just
you
get
probably
your
should
head
deal with
down."
it. It's a
Yeah.
lesson." Somebody, and you'll get all kind of answers. You're
And
right.
then you get us saying you figure it out. And the thing is, that's also there'll be someone here that say, I'm not happy with that either. I don't want to figure it out. That's not the right answer for me. So they got to find something else. somehow.
You
Maybe
gotta find what works for you
whatever works
all
for
the
you.
time, whatever works. But that's why it's you figure it out because I can't tell you.
Nobody can tell you
Even if
anything.
no one can tell you exactly, and even if they did, you don't have to say, you don't have to do nothing with it.
Like
You
what
could just act like you never heard it.
if I say to you, okay, what is the purpose of me being alive right
Right? I'm like, I would be asking you, well, what do you think about life, and what is life to you, and
now?
life?
How would you answer that question if I asked you that though? Like about
What is the
me.
purpose of life?
What is the
You,
purpose of me being alive right
I would say, I don't know. Because I'm not your, I don't know the purpose of your, because that's your, the purpose. I used to say things like, let me tell you what I used to say. If you
now?
asked me when I was a Christian, I would say, well,
Yeah.
your purpose is to find God and to
Right.
connect with Source.
So you
Because
put
if you,
your thoughts
I would
onto it
put,
based on your
yeah,
experience. Yeah. Yeah.
I would
Your
do that. Or
purpose
I
is
would,
to find God. So you're trying to turn other people to your
right. I'm trying
purpose.
to, exactly. And
Yeah.
I realized that that's not how you do it. And
Right.
then I would tell that person, or I would say that is something you would have to understand. Because I
Hmm.
have no clue.
Hmm.
Like
Yeah.
absolutely none. Because you have been with yourself longer than anybody.
That's
Longer
true.
than anybody.
I know. I
As soon
realize
as your
that.
mom, like, it's
I
just
know
you.
myself. Like I'm starting to realize that. Like I know myself, and nobody else actually fully knows or understands the depths of who I am. They get little pieces of it,
They get pieces all the
but
time.
and some people have more pieces than others. But I
Right.
but I definitely feel like there's the majority of it is all known to me mostly.
And that's
No,
everybody, man. Everybody, no one knows you like yourself.
right.
But you do like Miles Davis. Miles Davis said something really amazing, which is that sometimes it takes a long time for you to
To know
listen to
yourself.
yourself or
Yeah,
to know
that's true.
yourself. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
It's
why there's
true.
that philosopher know thyself and all that stuff. It's like
hmm
it is actually really hard to know yourself because we hide from ourselves and we pretend that we're something
We pretend that we're
different.
something else. Or
We put
we,
our mouth.
if you say you an apple tree and you growing grapes, like, wait a minute now, what kind of? But the thing is about acting is that we're all doing it
It's true. That's true.
because we kind of have because this is all something that it's like meeting someone for the first time. Like I was realizing it today. You meet somebody, and the first thing I say, "Hi, I'm Jesse," and then it's like, but they tell me their name, I don't remember.
Because
They
you're,
might not remember
yeah,
mine either.
yeah.
We on that bubbly buzz right now.
Oh, nothing is the only thing that is nothing. That there's nothing, like there's no nothing.
Yeah.
So nothing itself is nothing. Nothing is nothing.
Sometimes you think you get nothing, but you're getting a small something that you're quantifying as nothing.
Right, that's true. I mean, it's both at the same time because if you think about it, okay,
hmm
nothing is nothing could be that nothing itself is nothing at all. But it could also
hmm
be nothing is nothing could mean there's nothing that is actually nothing. Everything is something. You see how it
Yeah,
can be both?
everything. Right. Yeah, I see that. Everything is everything. You can say that too. That's
Right.
what most people say, which is easier. I feel
Yeah.
everything is
Yeah.
everything
Right.
because that
Everything is
means that
everything.
includes nothing, right? Wouldn't nothing be included in everything, or would it not? I don't know.
I think so.
Yeah,
Everything.
because that's everything,
Yeah. Does
but
everything
nothing is
include nothing?
nothing.
Yeah.
That I don't
Yeah.
know.
I think
That's a
everything
good
includes
question.
nothing. Yeah, I think it does.
Yeah, everything includes nothing because void because it's zero. So yeah,
Right. It's
don't
part
have
of
to worry
it's
about
part
that.
of everything. Yeah.
Yeah, it's part
So
of everything.
so everything is
We
actually bigger than nothing. And
everything is always
and
bigger than
nothing
nothing.
is nothing is bigger than everything.
Nothing is bigger than everything. Wow, it's amazing how
Yeah, that
words
is
do that.
weird
Like
because
it's
like
just putting me in all of these different like realms. You say
right.
nothing, and I'm thinking of
Because
like
it's like
ooh,
nothing, it could be
nothing.
that nothing itself is even bigger than everything, but it's also saying there's nothing that's bigger than everything because everything's the biggest. So it's both nothing and everything is biggest at the same time. It just depends on which way you
They
look
kind
at
of
it.
work together.
Right.
Yeah,
So everything is connected and everything is also disconnected.
that's what I said earlier. I just said
Yeah, no, exactly, yeah. So
that.
so what so like what I just said was like not even connected really to what we were saying, but it kind of is.
But it did. But it is.
Yeah,
Man, we are some bad
I don't
motherfuckers.
know.
I hope y'all enjoying this podcast and smiling, or your bike just be like, y'all are just so fucking high. But no, this is good. This is helping me because in a
Yeah,
lot of ways, I'm like, wow, I never really looked at it like that. But at the
right.
same time, I have because I see.
It's,
Ah,
it's basically we have and we haven't done everything. We are and we aren't all.
we are
We
right. I
so
love it,
what
man. I
is
love
that?
this. I
Is
love
that
that
even
so much. I don't know what it is.
is that worth it? It's worth something and nothing. It's like it's kind of dumb and it's great. It's so weird and
Right,
it's
right,
not.
exactly. It's irony. That's what irony is. It's like you'll
Right.
see something that's like, wow, that's like, give me an ironic moment,
Oh,
like a classic ironic moment you've had.
let's see. Um,
I'm trying to think of
uh,
one.
it's hard.
Uh, I
Ironic.
remember,
Probably right
I think
now, the thing is that irony is a clever little device thing.
exactly. It's
It where
clever, exactly.
like this
You
could
don't
be
think of it.
ironic right now. I wouldn't even know about it. It's like that can happen.
I would say that you're right. Irony is one of those clever moments that come. It's like, oh wow, that's ironic.
Often other people will notice the irony and you won't notice it yourself at
Exactly.
first.
They'll see it. Yeah,
Irony. I
because
don't
they're
like
looking at
irony
us.
for that reason. It's a scary thing, you know.
That's because you won't see it all.
Yeah, come. Yeah, I want to see everything. It's like the irony sneaks around the corner, like, like I bet you right now, all of my words are fucking ironic, and everyone is like aware of it, and I'm not, or something like that.
But that's the world, man. Have you ever been in a society where you walk the street and you see
Yeah,
somebody doing something stupid and
yeah,
they don't think nobody saw them,
right,
but
right.
you saw them?
You saw
There
it.
was a
Yeah.
moment I was in the elevator with my friend and this other guy came in, and now this woman was in the elevator, and she was a beautiful woman. I'm gonna just say that. Now, when this woman came in the elevator, this dude looked at her like from top to bottom. The look he gave her was like he slurped her up. Okay, and
Did she
so after
literally come in the elevator, or are you?
no, see, she was in the elevator. She
Okay.
was coming in the elevator. So it was three people. It was me, my friend, and the guy, right?
All
And
right.
then we stopped on, and then it was this beautiful woman coming in the elevator. And when
Oh yeah.
we saw how he was looking at her, he was literally like slurping her up with his
Right.
eyes. It was creepy, you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
But and so after she got out of the elevator, my friend was like, this guy, and I replayed how he looked, and she was like, oh wow, and it was just a
No.
funny scenario because it was just one of
Right.
those things. People don't even know that. I'm
Yeah.
using that as an example that happens all the time. You'll
That's
see
true.
somebody doing something and you don't think nobody saw it.
Right.
And somebody did because somebody is always watching.
That sounds
He knows
terrifying.
when you are asleep.
Santa is always watching. Oh my God. Yeah.
It is terrifying, but it's kind of, and I don't mean that in a dramatic way. I just mean sometimes, like you are like that with me. Sometimes I think
Yeah.
I'm saying something and you'll say it. I'm like, oh, you
Yeah.
saw it already.
It
You
can
get
happen.
that.
Yeah. That's the ironic thing again, is that often, sometimes when you're aware of when you start becoming aware of the potential of irony, then the irony kind of flips
Yeah, it
around.
settles.
There's
Yeah,
all
it
kinds
flips
of things.
around.
It's hard. Language is tricky like that. It's very unpredictable, especially certain little things like irony or whatever. It's like it's hard to pinpoint it or figure it out because
Yeah, it could be totally hard to do that. But
often if you are noticing irony and laughing at it, the most ironic thing is usually that that whatever it is that you're laughing at is you are doing something by laughing that's quite ironic as well. That's the funny thing. It goes full
uh,
circle.
it really does. That's amazing to me. I
Yeah,
love that though. I feel
yeah.
like that's even just the symbiosis for me. Like the parallels, how everything is seemingly just so. I don't know. It's weird. It's so
No, it is.
weird.
It's totally weird.
It's
Yeah,
weird.
because I remember it, like when I was on LSD, I saw this like girl who was really insecure, thought that people were doing things behind her back and laughing at her and stuff like
Hmm.
that. She got really offended, and then she kind of walked off. She got enlightened through something, came back all confidently, and then she walked past the girl next to me all confidently, and then that made that girl feel a little insecure, and she went through the exact same experience, and it was like,
Wow!
yeah,
Wow!
yeah. So it's
Wow!
like when sometimes you might be stupid, and then you get enlightened, and then your enlightenment will then influence somebody
Yeah,
else
influence somebody else.
to
Yep.
to go through the same experience where they're stupid and then they become enlightened. It's like I'm beyond thinking of anything as actually stupid. There's no such thing
Right. There's
because
no such thing. I mean, it's
because
literally just ignorant is just an absence of something you didn't know. And sometimes
right.
that's
And
the
how is that
best
bad?
position to be in.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh
That's what I
yeah.
was saying. Where sometimes it's better not to know. That's part of that. It's like sometimes knowing nothing is knowing everything, like I was saying. And so
Yeah, completely.
sometimes it's
And
better.
that's something that's better. Yeah, because what if you know and then people want you to tell them?
Yeah.
And what if you tell them and you'll get extorted for it?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Like people forget something. With knowledge comes responsibility, and sometimes it's better to be like, I don't know that.
Right.
So when somebody asks me, like, don't know, nope, never
The
heard of
the
it.
best example
It's
I can give is like if you're walking along like a plank on the ground and you walk along the whole thing with a blindfold on and it's like
hmm
you're walking across and then you get to the other side of the plank and then they say all right now you're gonna know and they take off the blindfold and you look back and you just walked across like 100-foot cliff and you
Wow.
have to get back like you're stuck over there and you have to get back to where you started from but it's like you can't put the blindfold back on and just
Oh
pretend you
shit!
know and
Wow,
pretend
that
like you
would be
don't know
awful.
anymore you
hmm
can't be like I don't know anymore you now that you know you can't not know once you know what I
Yeah,
mean
that's exactly the truth. Like that's the beautiful
you
thing
can't
about it. Is like,
pretend that you can just walk across the 100-foot cliff again and think that it's on the ground now you know that it's not on the ground so it's like
yeah, but you'll go about it different
you go about it
because you
different because of the knowledge. You might find a new way to cross that you wouldn't have crossed otherwise. You might build
right. You'll build a new
a
bridge,
new
or
bridge or something. Yeah, that's the
yeah,
thing with knowledge is it gives you choices.
there you go.
So
And those choices
so
influence your reactions.
knowledge is actually good then, I guess.
It's always been better. It's better to be knowledgeable than to not. But but
See,
if
I
you
just
don't
learned that.
know,
Yeah.
right? But if you don't know, you're still in a good position because then you can find out,
Right.
and then you can go about it differently. If you retain that information, now sometimes you gotta look at the pyramid. Sometimes there's like a level scheme to how you get there, because then you hear it, then you analyze it, then you have to remember it. Sometimes you got to experience it, which is
hmm
totally different.
Yeah. Humility should always come with knowledge or ignorance.
Yeah, I like that. It's always both.
You're not going to be humble if you're ignorant necessarily because, well,
Yeah,
you might, but it depends because you might be ignorant to whatever you're supposed to be humble about. So
yeah. It's you just never know, man.
you
I
just
mean,
don't
most of the
know.
time
Yeah,
you don't know. You
nobody
don't
knows.
know. No
Nobody,
one knows,
nobody
and
really
everyone's
knows anything.
pretending.
Yeah,
Everyone's pretending.
they
That's why I was
are.
saying we're all kind of like we're winging this shit. That's
Yeah.
why I don't try to take anything too seriously, because even when you meet people from of all backgrounds and different,
Yeah.
class
Yeah.
levels, they're not. None of them are aware of what they're doing.
No,
They're
it's
just
true.
doing. They're compensating. They're like, oh, I have this, so let me compensate for that. Oh, I
Right.
don't have that, so let me substitute this for that. Oh,
hmm
let me just change. You're trying to,
Yeah.
we're just shuffling. So it's not really sometimes. And then I can find ways of, like I said, we're all pimping things, right? So like, I'm going to the store. You know what? I want 3 donuts for the price of one this time. I'm not paying $3. I'm gonna pay one,
Right.
and you won't know.
Right.
Ha ha. Go, jokes on you. We do this all the time. Or like going to the drinks. Like, oh, I'm not. Or let me get a water cup and then put some Sprite or some Coca Cola in it instead.
I think there's like this King of the Hill episode where this the traffic light goes green and they just like put their foot down and speed up and then right away the siren comes on and they just have to like pull over right away. It's like it's funny because
Wow.
sometimes you think
Right. From bracing yourself, you're gonna be rewarded when you're actually penalized.
it depends. It changes every time.
Okay, depends.
You gotta understand whatever that moment is, but sometimes it comes around, sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. It's normal.
That's what I'm saying. I call it when the lights gamble with darkness.
Right.
The darkness might win. It
It can.
depends.
Right.
It can.
So I'm curious because I keep seeing this picture in front of me, like that profile picture of yours, where like you have that jacket and you have your hand like in the jacket.
Yeah.
So
hmm
I've seen that like as a symbol of sorts, like even on like statues and like you see it a lot in uh old
Right. That
depictions.
is
Yeah.
a very
Does that
common
mean
pose.
anything to you, or was that just like a random thing?
And in his
Wait, the connection,
bosom.
the connection cut out. Wait,
The
say.
same color.
They don't want me to know. The connection cut
I
out.
know exactly. remember, remember when the Pharaoh Moses put his hand
Yeah.
to see? That's why I was doing it. I was thinking of that
Ah,
moment where the
interesting.
color of the Pharaoh's hand,
Uh-huh.
to just to represent, like, you don't know
Mm-hmm.
what what color you gonna get, what dress. Like I always say, like I'm giving you,
Yeah.
whatever it is. So that's what that was supposed to
Oh, that's
symbolize.
cool. I wonder what
Because I
it
had a marble
I wonder what it
inside.
means for other people when they do that.
Yeah, I feel like that's just a good pose to
It
have
is. It's
because
a
it's
great
like
pose. It looks like
you're
you
cal- you're
have some kind of knowledge, even the blue color is partly to do with knowledge too, but it's interesting because it looks like you have something. You have maybe something up your sleeve, that kind of thing,
right, exactly. That's the whole thing. Like you're carrying something. Like it's like you know,
Yeah, I think that's what it
you
depicts. It's like I got something and you don't know what it is.
right, and you don't know what it is.
It could be nothing. It
It could be nothing,
could...
or it could be something that will change your life,
Right,
motherfucker.
it's true.
That's what's funny. It's like that kind of awareness requires empathy, though.
Hmm.
All of what we're saying means you have to step out of the frame, and that is so hard for people to
Hmm.
do.
Yeah.
They want to be seen, they want to be, and it's like, no, step out of the frame. What does step out of the frame mean? Mind your
Right,
business.
like what you were saying
Get
the other
out
day,
of
if you had telekinesis or whatever, how you wouldn't just go around displaying
right
this to everyone.
displaying.
It would
No, that's
be
responsibility.
right. So with knowledge comes that responsibility where what you're saying, where like you literally might right now be able to fly and walk through walls and stuff. Kind of like in the Adjustment Bureau movie where they can, travel through this time.
Yes. Oh,
You know,
I want to watch the movie again.
yeah, so it's like you probably can do all these things, but you're gonna play dumb if it comes to you. You're gonna be like, what are you talking
Yeah,
about?
that's
I don't know
smarter.
how to walk up
That's
walls. Where
yeah,
would you get that
right. What are
idea
you
from?
doing?
You know, and then I look around the corner and I see you walking up that wall and I'm like, wait a minute.
And then
So
I'll give you a wink.
yeah.
Because
So
you already never believed that I could do it, that I lied about it anyway, but you was just being nosy
right.
because you wanted to see if I could actually do it.
Right.
But think about people like that. Like Prince was like that. Prince was the type who he played it cool. He didn't have to
Yeah, yeah, he did. I
necessarily
mean,
show you.
he
He was
was
like,
he was able to do things like that, but he wasn't like trying to use it to be like, "Hey, look what I can do." It was more like, "I'll
no.
use it coolly. I'll use it where I need to." It'd be like,
He'll use
you
it
know,
in humoresque ways, which I love.
right.
Like he'll use it in ways where he'll tell you. There was one time we were at Paisley Park and he was like, "Everybody get on stage and start dancing." So we dancing to Free Yourself, and he's with us, and we're just singing loudly, "Free Yourself." So we thinking he's still on the piano playing the song, and then right after we finished, he's like, "Good night." He was watching us the whole
Oh
time.
man, that's crazy.
Made me even realize he left the stage. He
Yeah.
was there like the first, but he just did it. It was so cool. It was like,
Yeah.
wow,
Yeah, yeah.
So
It
it
would have felt like
happens. Like,
teleportation, like, because that's how he moves.
yes, exactly. That's what it felt like. It was like, wow, he was there, and he literally just stopped being there
Yeah.
within
Yeah.
a second.
Yeah, yeah.
So like, that's a way to, smooth telekinesis. I
Yeah.
call it,
Yeah,
because
smooth
that's a
telekinesis. Yeah.
that's an
Exactly.
easier
It's almost
rampage.
it's to the point where like people might be able to give it an actual explanation that's physical. Like
Yeah.
he did that
Mm-hmm.
and you're like, he probably got up and ran over there. You can come up with a physical
Right.
explanation, but you're like, wow, he did it really smoothly and
He
quickly.
was smoothly right and
But
quickly,
for
and
all
then
you
that's like,
know,
oh,
he
yeah.
actually teleported. For all you know,
Mm-hmm.
and then he just did
That could
that
have happened too.
slickly.
I should. Hey,
And he
he
was
was.
just doing it in a way that that you could interpret as a physical thing. And I think that that's the best way to use powers. Is like you can do it
Yeah.
in a way
Yeah.
where like people are like questioning, like, did that really
Did that really
happen
happen?
how
Like,
I
yeah.
thought, or
Right.
was I
Yeah.
just they're like not sure. But if you give them something that's
That is
really
the best way.
obvious, then
Then they can just go back to it and see where you formulated it.
right. So
Like, oh
what?
yeah, you did this moment.
So why can't you show, like, let's say you can fly? Why can't you show other people that you can fly?
Because people get pissed off when they realize they can't do what you can do.
Okay, let me ask the question. All right, if if you can play guitar like really well, like you're the best guitar player in the world, and
Hmm.
nobody else can play guitar anything like that, would you say it would be better not to go on stage and play that because it'll make people feel bad that they can't play guitar like you?
No, because the thing is, everyone has their own style of playing and their different, way of how they're playing it, and that's what people need to realize. Like, if you're trying, it's one thing. No matter how great of a guitar player you are, you're not the only damn guitar player. There are a shit ton of other ones that play differently
Yeah, yeah,
that you can learn from
but
them
I'm sure
too.
there's a shit
You
ton of
know.
people that can fly too.
Yeah, but that can't be for everybody. Imagine, first of all, imagine if, let's say this: there is a secret society of people who fly.
All right.
Why would everyone want to fly? Because that would be conflict. That would conflict with other. I mean, of course, it's probably only for certain people. It's just like
Yeah, but
witches.
why?
Everybody can't be no witch.
But why is what I'm wondering.
I don't ultimately know why though. I just think my justification for it is that it would mean too much. It would involve other affairs that are not needed. It would make people mind others people business. Oh, you flying? Where you going? Oh, where you?
Would it put you at a disadvantage perhaps, or what, like for that reason, like where?
It will actually put the people flying at a disadvantage because we can shoot them or do something else ridiculous that they can't see. Who's to say they fly at the efficient level? They might be able to just fly, during the night, during different
Right.
times.
Yeah.
Like it might. The thing is, there are going to be some people with greater advantages.
Hmm.
Always,
Yeah, that's true. There is.
always.
But do you
They're going
think
to
that you
always be
should
someone
basically
better.
like not even tell people that you can fly, or not show them, not say that it's even possible? It's better to
You
just
can do it
keep
in a
them in the dark
symbolic way.
in a symbolic way.
No, you can do it in a symbolic way. You can show it smoothly. You can be like, you can make them believe you can do it. That's the
Hmm.
thing.
Hmm.
That's the key right there. You may have never seen them do it, but you like, I probably think they could do that.
Hmm.
That's how I knew for you. You were the same person. I'm like, I probably think Jeremy can lucid dream. I'm sure he can do that.
Right.
Even though I
Yeah.
didn't know,
Yeah.
I was like, probably.
Yeah.
You meet people where you can just tell they're probably able to do it. Now,
Yeah.
if you're that interested, then you just ask them,
Right.
and they might tell you, but it's
They
neither
might
here or
hint at
there.
it, or they might, yeah.
They might
Yeah.
hint at it. They might say, I can't tell you all my tricks.
Right.
Why am I tell you? I can't tell you how many times I heard that from Prince.
But like that's why I'm curious, is because like if you flew, you wouldn't really be giving away your tricks. What you would be doing is saying, I can fly, but I'm not telling you how to do it. But I'm just saying I can
Hmm.
do it. Would that be
Yeah,
a problem?
that makes no. I think that's a good answer
Hmm.
because
So you just
that's actually
fly around and
honest.
go, ha,
That's
ha, I can fly and you
right.
can't.
You can't, but you can do the same thing in different areas
Right.
because
Yeah, yeah.
there are a lot of people who know how to fly, but they don't know how to time shift. They don't know
True.
how it is to be in other realms. They
Yeah.
only know how to be in this one realm, which
Right.
allows them to fly.
That's true. Yeah. So
So,
everyone has
so
their
it's
own
always
gifts,
like
basically. We all have gifts.
everybody got their own gift, yeah. And it's like if
Gifts.
you love it enough, you're gonna learn.
Hmm.
If you really are interested in music and you want it, then
Yeah.
you gonna do it because that's even if it's not to the level of the best guitar player that you really like
Right.
or the
Yeah.
best drummer, you're gonna still find some emulations in that, and then you're gonna
Hmm.
commit to that to the best of your ability, and it'll be whatever it'll be.
Right. That's true.
Because perfection is an illusion, but it's still something to strive for to the degree that because it makes you because it sharpens you.
Yeah.
Even if you fall off, like I had that happening recently. I was like, I'm gonna do a crazy ass workout, and I did, and it was intense. And I felt really good afterwards. But then I woke up in the morning, man. Oh my God. I was like, oh, this is
Yeah.
awful.
Right.
But that was the responsibility to something that I wanted to do. So anytime you do something, you always gonna get that
Yeah.
the response, the answer.
Yeah.
And that can be neither here or there. That's my favorite thing to say is
Yeah.
here
Neither
is not
here.
where it used to be, neither here or there.
Yeah.
Or here is not over there.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
you know?
And well, if you're just going by yourself, wherever there is for you is here.
Right. It's here.
Because once you get there, it's here.
Just like now
Yeah. Exactly.
or later.
So everywhere is here. Because
Everywhere
once
is
you
here.
get anywhere, it's here.
Yeah, that's the whole thing. Like
Yeah.
all of it. And see, when people say I am nothing, it's like, don't say that. You shouldn't say that. You're everything. It's like, wait, Don't. I hear people like, no, that sounds like you have best. Listen to me. I am nothing, and so are you. You can't say that. You are something. It's like, no, you projecting. You telling me I'm something that you want me to be. You see me as that, but I'm
Right.
not that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Why
I'm
are we,
nothing.
being comfortable in that? It's like, oh, but nothing is beautiful because when you don't have nothing, you don't care.
Right. Right.
Because you don't have no fuck. It's like not giving a fuck. Like if
Exactly. Yeah,
somebody,
sure.
if like if somebody come at you with a bullshit and you don't give a fuck, it's like you can't say nothing to me
Right. Right.
because I don't care.
Because
You can
I
put me in a
am nothing.
hole.
Right.
You can change because I'm nothing.
Right.
I'm crazy. Like you
Yeah.
can't do nothing to me.
Mm-hmm.
You can't shoot. You kill me if you want to. Go
Yeah.
ahead. I don't care.
Right.
And that's the kind of shit people. It's like, ooh, damn, they a bad motherfucker. I guess I ain't gonna do nothing to them.
And then somebody hits you in the
Damn.
face. You're like, no, I'm something. I'm sorry.
See, that's not being. See, that's
Yeah.
being not responsible. It's like, oh shit, I'm actually so. I'm
Oh,
sorry,
I'm
man.
sorry. Like you feel
I
a
didn't
slap
mean
in the
to.
face. You're like, oh, wait. Okay, maybe I am something. I felt that. Stop. Don't
I'm
do that.
something, but I'm not worthy of you being engaged with me. Don't fight me,
Right.
please. It's amazing. That should be a healthy reminder to you all, because we went all over the place, but we came together on this one.
Yeah.
You're nothing, but you're everything, and figure it out.
You
You
can figure it out.
figure it
Oh,
out.
yeah, you can figure it out.
You,
Yeah.
that's why we just call it you figure it out.
Yeah, you figure it
You
out.
you figure it out.
You figure it out.
There's no right or wrong.
Yeah.